And we're back. It's
And we're
back.
Here.
And
there.
Mornis. Here on Soundwaves TV.
You only get one.
I know, you only get one. I haven't even had that much.
What'd you say?
Okay, so here's the thing. Dennis and I had a really cool conversation about Spotify and what is happening with Spotify. The fact that, artists are not getting paid, which we all know. But also, you guys may not realize where your money with Spotify is actually going. And it's sobering. So I thought we could play that chat with Dennis and I. Okay. And then you guys can kind of chime in with me here. Does that work?
Sure.
All right, let's check it out.
Streaming has always been a broken promise that payouts are a fraction of a penny. Albums replace content cycles. And Spotify CEO Daniel Ek made things worse when he said, the cost of creating content is close to zero. Imagine spending years mastering your craft only to be told your work has no value because it's digital. Since mid-2023, Ek has sold off more than $800 million in Spotify stock. His net worth now over $9.2 billion, but he's not reinvesting in music or artists. He's not fixing the broken royalty system. He's not improving the platform for creators. Instead, he's making a bet on massive war. Ex-investment firm Prima Materia just led a 600 million euro round into Helsing, a company that builds real-time battlefield artificial intelligence. So to be clear, the man who controls the world's biggest music platform is now helping build the future of war.
There's this weird phenomenon where if we go to a local restaurant or a local shop and for whatever reason they didn't give us the right change or the food wasn't warm enough, we blast them on social media and go, here's this local mom and pop place and I didn't like the service. I didn't like the food, and everybody piles on. We're not going to go there. We don't like their politics, whatever. We don't do that though with the big guys. We don't go, we're not going to go to McDonald's because my Mc whatever was cold. No, we go right back.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you hear about like a Spotify or whomever else using their profits for nefarious means, we're going to stop? No, we're not going to stop because it's easy.
Because of convenience.
We like easy.
And I will admit fully, because if you know me,
I'm not throwing you under the bus.
No, I understand. I will pay for convenience. I am a convenience payer. If you can make my life easier, here you go. Take my money.
Right.
So that's where I'm coming from. But I also, in the spirit of everything that's going on in the world right now, cannot stand idly by and go, oh, that's where my money is going with this company and this one over here is doing what? I can't do it anymore. Now, there is a major Australian rock band called King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Love them.
Great.
I do.
And they have a total, their catalog is huge. They have a total of 27 studio albums, 1 remix album, and 3 EPs. And they pulled them just like that overnight off of Spotify. Do you know what they did with them? This is the best part. I absolutely love this. They put everything up on Bandcamp, and then they told their audience, their followers, pay us what you think it's worth.
Oh, nice.
Name your price. It was a name your price.
They're
sale.
that kind of band, though.
They are that
really
kind of band. That's true. But Bandcamp, because they did that, it's really interesting because they have the top 31 spots on Bandcamp's best-selling list.
Really?
now.
Wow.
So people are seeing this action and they're following and going, I'll pay for that. I'll get behind that.
Yeah. It is going to take a major artist. It's going to take, like I just watched
Top
the VMAs
tier.
and it's any of those people just go, you know what? If Taylor Swift, if you're listening.
Yeah, yes, there
it's
you
going
go.
to take a Taylor Swift. It's going to take somebody with a rabid following, Lady Gaga, somebody like that.
You know what? Taylor Swift might do it. Taylor Swift has made really interesting decisions in the world of music with her Taylor's versions and then fighting to get her own music back and all those. I could very easily see her doing this. She could make a real industry shift, like a seismic shift, if she decided to do something like that. So obviously that's how Dennis and I feel. And I'm interested. I know. Wow. It like I said, it's sobering. I was interested in both of you, obviously, but I also wanted the artist perspective on this because, putting your music out there.
You definitely want to make money, in any way that you can. And you don't want to cut off any source of revenue that you can get to, get your music out there and sustain yourself.
Sure.
This does not appear to be one of them, especially when you find out where the money that you're helping to generate is going. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like I'm contributing to the last thing on earth I'd ever want to be associated with.
Yeah. Right.
This, I make my music, I write my songs with a thought, with a theme, with a with a heartfelt sentiment, whatever it is, the last thing I want is for, the music that I'm making to be generating something that's going to, in my mind, harm me.
Sure.
Or the world, or the people that are, consuming my music. It's really, you guys really blew me away with that. I didn't know, even I did not know all of that.
Oh, I think most people don't.
And it really would make you take a second look. So we need someone, I can take my music off of it.
Right.
Is anyone going to know? Unfortunately, at this time, no.
Yeah.
But, some huge personality or rather rock star or, musician type person making a difference like that, I think would actually make a difference.
I think Dennis pulled, Taylor Swift into the mix, and I think she is a caliber of artist that could make a real impact.
She's actually done something like that before.
Right, exactly.
She got pissed off at these. All right, I'm going to re-record all my stuff.
Right, exactly.
And be done with it.
She's not, and she doesn't need the money at this point. She's good.
Oh my gosh.
And she could really make an impact. How are you feeling about this?
Not good.
Yeah.
Well, as more of a, I guess, on the consumer side of this conversation, like I already knew that entities like, Spotify and other kind of streaming services were making it, tough for the artist to make bucks, because when you look back into the early 60s, 70s, and 80s, artists would go out on tour to promote their music for people to buy the album, not to make money. Yeah, they hey, here come see a show, pay $1. The Grateful Dead, when the Grateful Dead were in town a little bit ago for their anniversary, there was a news article saying that the Grateful Dead would only charge 50 cents or $1 because they wanted people to come hear their music then go out and buy the records, which where they got their revenue. Nowadays,
we flip-flopped that.
We have completely flip-flopped where artists like Taylor Swift, yes, Taylor Swift could be our savior with all this, but artists like Taylor Swift, Beyonce, all the big names out there with these huge stadium tours are making money off of that. They're definitely not making money off the the Spotify streaming services or actual CD sales, because for me personally, it's been a while since I bought a CD or anything or actually even bought an album and downloaded it. I've always been, I have been part of that problem, going through Spotify, paying my
so many
fee.
are. I mean, that's the convenience part of all this.
Which I do have to say that, Spotify for me personally makes it kind of hard to discover new music. I have found a more open, I guess, better algorithm, especially with me, through TikTok. I have discovered so many new artists through TikTok.
Interesting.
Which I'm just scrolling through, and then it's just a quick little hey, check out this new ska band. Hey, we like to sing about, shit that sucks.
Yeah.
Hey, we're sort of riding the third wave right now, and I'm in love with this band called Militant.
Oh,
check them out.
That's cool.
It's.
I love discovering music like that. Remember that back in the day?
Well,
it'd be someone that endorses them, someone that would tell you about that. I would never find out about who again?
Militant.
I would never find out about Militant ever of life until you just said it. So I would look them up.
Yeah.
I want to go back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we used to find out about new music and stuff,
Yeah.
And maybe, I think what would help people fall back in love with that is tangibles. Let's get back in, when you get an album, let's get that CD.
Yeah.
Or that vinyl.
Yeah.
Or even cassette. It's still a thing, barely out there, but it's still happening.
That's another topic. Don't get me riled up about cassettes.
But artists nowadays are like, hey, got a new album coming out, pre-download it on Spotify. Why? That's not going to do you anything good.
Nobody has answered that question for me, by the way. I keep asking, what does that do?
You literally set a bookmark on that artist to download the full album once it's available, released.
Right.
But it's
but is that helping them?
I don't know.
I don't know that it necessarily is.
Why would you pre-download it? And so here's actually a good example. And I'll try to keep this brief. A Day to Remember, one of my favorite bands. They just put out a new album earlier this year.
Yep.
They did the whole pre-download for Spotify, but also buy the album. Why would you just promote people buying your physical album?
Agreed.
Instead of getting that pre-download.
Yeah.
Which I know it's probably we all know how many people.
Shouldn't they do that? Is that what you're saying? Hey, you know what? If you want to get their album first, buy it physically.
And I think that's what they did.
That would be dope. Can we do that?
I think that's what they did. But the problem is either I just press a button and I'm just going to pay my monthly fee on Spotify. I'll still get the music, but $30 for or $20 for an album.
Spotify is for people who don't love music.
Exactly. I agree.
Hot take. I love that.
I agree.
I love that. My issue is working out, like, because working out, I have all my playlists made on Spotify. So if I'm like running, right, it's just easy for me to hear like my rock running playlist, whatever. But I got to find a better system. And I will say I'm a culprit when you're talking about like you're part of the problem. I'm part of the problem with Alexa because I'm like play whatever when I'm cooking. Well, that's Amazon Music, and I got problems with Amazon. So like it never ends.
I guess I'm still super old school. I still curate and program all of my playlists. Everything that I listen to.
Where are you playing it off of?
Off my phone, off my iPhone.
Off your like iTunes?
iTunes.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, that's good.
After a while there's a randomness that's gone. I know what song's coming up next.
Right.
But I have to become familiar with those songs, so I still download the whole album.
Okay.
And I'll listen to the whole album and then pick the stuff that I like.
I'm an idiot because I pay for Apple Music or iTunes or whatever,
it's weird because and for a while I was I am that old guy, I guess. But I'm starting to realize that maybe my traditional classic way of consuming music is actually either coming back or never really left, and younger folks are starting to realize actually there's a better way to consume your music.
Yes.
And with Spotify you never get to fall in love with your favorite songs and artists because you've got so damn much
thrown at you.
I remember in the 90s when we were buying CDs that had 20 freaking songs on them. Nope. I want 11.
It's too much.
I want 11.
Yeah.
Fine. Throwing the hidden bonus track.
I was going to say, you get a
14
track album and like, why is it saying 22 songs?
I don't want interludes.
It's like
noises in the studio and stupid stuff.
Is this a live album with like talk, like speech in between the songs? Like what the hell?
Gen X. Sorry. That's how you fall in love with things. Is people think that more is more. It's not. More is actually way less.
Yeah.
You don't get to fall in love with more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Less is more, and it's curated, and it's the good shit. It's the stuff that rises to the top. Right. I love that.
Yeah.
Great conversation. Let us know what you think. Find Soundwaves TV on social. We'd love to hear from you because I think this is going to be an ongoing debate, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps it up for us, you guys. At least for this episode. Woo! We'll see you next time. Mwah. We love you for being here. Thank you. Bye.